Hello, coaches. Coach Chris Thompson, JTS Advisors Designated Strategy and Accountability Coach, here with a tip to help you get paid for your advice and to grow your coaching business, make it a career for you. So I get a lot of questions from coaches about should you pre-qualify someone before doing a free session for them, or how should you do it, or should you do it? So my answer is it depends on the coach. So for a coach that is kind of, this is a hobby, they're kind of like, I just want to make a few, get a few clients here and there, I would not pre-qualify. I wouldn't mess with it. If you're, because you don't need to make a lot of money, it's not your focus. If you're a coach that wants to leave your day job to do coaching as your profession, then I would say you're faced with a choice. Now, when I started my coaching practice, I did not pre-qualify people. And the reason I did not is because what the vast majority of you are charging for coaching is not so much money that anyone who is committed to accomplishing the result that you help them accomplish cannot afford. They can all afford it. Okay, they can all afford it. I should do another video on that, but trust me, they can afford it. Okay. If they're committed, they will find the money. Okay, you're not charging very much money. Okay, you're not in comparison to the goal they're trying to get, the value you're bringing. So the point is that they can find the money if they're committed. The other reason to possibly do it without pre-qualifying is that they don't know the value yet of your coaching. You haven't had a chance to really show them the value of your coaching, and very few people understand what coaching is or have experienced the kind of quality coaching that we can show you how to give. So they need to experience it before they appreciate the value. So that's the argument for that. It's also good for a coach that may feel like they want a lot of repetitions. So if you want a lot of repetitions, you want to just run a lot of sessions, it makes total sense. I understand why a person would say, hey, I'm not even going to talk to them about the pre-qualifying or the money or anything like that, before whether they had the money or not, before doing the session. So I respect that if that's the way you go. That's the way I went. I ran tons of sessions. And got a lot of clients and people, frankly, who told me before we even did the session, Chris, I don't have the money, just letting you know. Oh, don't worry about it. Let's do the session. I'm not here trying to sell you coaching today, because I wasn't. I want to do the session, and they ended up hiring me. Okay, so that will happen if you don't pre-qualify. However, key point here, you are going to get the I don't have the money objection as your number one objection you're probably going to get in your coaching practice, is I don't have the money at the end. So I'm really good at handling that. I can show a coach how to be really effective at handling I don't have the money, because it is a commitment issue. It is not a circumstance issue. They can find the money. We're talking a few $100 for most coaches. It's not significant money in comparison. It may feel that way to them at the time, but again, they can find it if the reason's strong enough. So the point is, getting back to the issue, is even at my level, someone who is very effective at helping people find the money, overcoming the concern of not having the money, even then, most of the folks, I'm going to say 80%, it could be higher, it could be slightly lower, but I'm going to say that range, 80% of them are simply not going to find the money. They're not committed enough to find the money. So even though you could, you will find that a lot of them aren't going to find the money. The other thing is that you can, most coaches, and I was this way for a long time, don't have the skill yet to be able to not communicate attachment because they're new and they're trying to get clients. They're not able to communicate, I'm not attached to whether you do this coaching or not, client. I'm going to be okay. Either way, I'm doing this so you can make a good decision for you. We recognize we're coaching them and we're trying to help them overcome the money, and a lot of times that's the breakthrough, that finding the money is the breakthrough of the story of their life. Their entire life will change if they find the money. That's all true. Okay, but it can come off as force, and force needs an opposing energy. We're not trying to force or convince anyone to do coaching. We are being powerful, we're revealing, we're uncovering what is stopping them get the results they want in their life and perpetuating the pain in their life. You can do that within yourself, in your power. It's like within you, you're not pushing it upon them, you're being powerful within you. And when they understand and get the feeling from you that you're not trying to force them because you need something, you're unattached to whether they choose to do it or not, because that's the way you're being in the conversation, then that's the way you want to be if you are going to handle that objection. Challenge is most coaches are not skilled enough at handling I don't have the money objection to not come off as forceful. Or they just don't feel comfortable confronting and uncovering that issue because they don't have a lot of money possibly. And then we end up getting sold by the client that we don't have a lot of money. So that we start believing them. When it's a commitment issue, it's not whether you have the money or not. Okay, it's not. So that being said, okay, that's why for a coach that wants to run a lot of sessions, I really don't have any problem with them not pre-qualifying. But if you're going to run a business and you want to make a lot of significant income to leave your day job, I think, in my opinion, you pre-qualify. And this is the reason why I feel that way. Again, the vast majority of people are not going to find the money, no matter how good you are at showing them how to find the money, because they're simply not committed enough. So what you want to find out is you're wanting to find out as fast as you can in the free session, which is why the scripts that I teach the people that I coach, I show them how to do this. You want to find out, do they have a sense of urgency? Is there a reason they must get coaching and get this result, solve this problem now? And you want to be able to determine that as soon as you can. You also want to determine, do they have leverage? Not only does the timing have to be right, if they're in research mode, then I'm not going to want to go into a ton of extra time on them. If they are someone who doesn't have any leverage, you want to find out why be successful at this? Why solve this problem? There's got to be a strong reason. Usually outside of them, it's some external thing. Maybe they're afraid they're going to lose their job. They're afraid they're going to lose their spouse, their house. I mean, you make that rhyme. There's something painful that's going to happen in their opinion if they don't get this solved, and they need to get it done quick. Now you're in the right zone. Those are the two things you need. Sense of urgency, which means timing, got to do it now, and leverage, which means I've got to do coaching or I'm not going to get this result. Something painful is going to happen, or I'm going to miss out on this pleasure that I really want to have. Those are two things you want to get clear really quickly. And then the third thing is, do they have access to the money? It's not do they have the money. It's not whether they have the resources. It's whether they have the resourcefulness. That's what we're doing. It's not where they have the resources, it's where they have the resourcefulness. Do they have access to the money? People who are committed, you'll find everyone's got access to the money. So a common question you may ask to help determine this, I try to determine this within probably the first 20 minutes of a session. Depends on how fast I can get there, but I try to get there as fast as I can, and the coaches that I coach, I want them to get there as fast as I can if their intention is to build a good-sized coaching practice, a business that sustains their family and their life goals, is to maybe ask a question like, if you were interested or committed to solving this problem, hiring me to solve this problem, teaming up with me to help you solve this problem, my coaching packages start at this much. You might say this much per month. That's what I say. But start at this much, this month, this much. If you were interested, would you be able to create the investment? So let me try that again, okay? So if you were interested or committed to coaching with me to accomplish this result, let's try it a different way. My coaching packages start at this much. If you were interested in coaching with me or committed to coaching with me to solve that problem, would you be able to create that investment? And it's a yes or no question. So if they don't answer it yes or no, give them a chance to maybe talk for a couple minutes. But if you don't get a clear yes or no answer, use their name, Susan, John, whatever their name is, right? And you didn't answer the question. Would you be able to create the money? If they have access to the money, they tell you they can create the money, then I'm going to continue on beyond that with the session. If the answer is no, at that point, I now know they are not a qualified prospect. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them my free stuff. Say, hey, sounds like you're not really ready right now. When you are ready to accomplish, you're committed or ready, whatever word you want to use, to accomplish solving this problem, let me know, and if I have the space, we can talk about it. So I'm going to give them my free stuff, because my marketing stuff, I have some free marketing stuff. You will eventually probably create your own free marketing stuff, and then give that to them, and they can work on your free marketing stuff to keep the fire warm. You may even follow up with them in a few months if you want to. It's up to you, to help them find the money. What that does is that ends the interaction on a positive note. They are now looking forward to working with you even further. And you've already given them some value. You're doing a session, you've probably given them 20 or 30 minutes in a session at this point, and they've gotten some value. But you're not spending an extra hour on someone who isn't going to buy from you and then trying to make them buy from you. And for a lot of new coaches in particular, it can be very disheartening for them to get all connected to somebody and then get to the end and the person doesn't buy. They take it very personal. It's not personal to you. They don't have the ability to purchase. As soon as you know someone's not committed enough, doesn't have enough leverage or enough reason to purchase, right? Or doesn't have the ability to purchase, okay? And if you want to talk to them about it and see if you can probe and convince, then that's up to you. But as soon as you find that out, then in my opinion, you're especially if you want to build a big business, you're better off taking that hour you might have spent with them trying to convince them and handle objections just to have them feel forced. You're better off letting them go, giving them a positive interaction with you, letting them know what's required to reconnect with you, and you can make sure they're attached to you on social media. So when you're doing your marketing, you're able to still keep in touch with them over email or social media or texting or whatever your lead generation system is. So you still keep the fire warm. You still keep connected to them. And they have a positive... See, people remember how things end. And that's why it's so important that you end the interaction as positively as you can, especially if they don't have money or someone who can't create the money. And if they feel forced, then they're not going to talk to you again because the interaction, they remember the end. They don't remember the hours you spent with them trying to help them. They remember how you made them, they felt inadequate, they don't have the money, or you were pushy or forceful. So this way you're able to keep that positive interaction, and you're not taking, if you're doing a lot of sessions, you might be doing this 3 or 4 times a week. So you're taking those 2 or 3 hours. You could be spending those 2 or 3 hours on lead generation, attracting a client that's ready to make a change in their life. Another key point about this, I know this video is long, but I want to nail you guys with some content. I've been doing this 10 years. This is all I do. I don't bartend. I don't do real estate. All I do is coaching and selling coaching and helping people sell marketing coaching or other business. The other really key piece to having this, like as I mentioned, they have the positive interaction with you, but the vast majority of clients that you're going to work with are going to instantly recognize that you're a fit for them and they want to work with you, and they're going to make a fast decision. I've said it before, I'll say it again. At the end of that free session with you, your prospective client, already knows if they want to work with you or not. They already know. It's already decided. Not only do they know how long they want to work, how much they want to work with you, and if they want to work with you, they already know how long they want to work with you. So when they tell you, I don't want to do this much commitment, I only want to do this much commitment, they're not a candidate for coaching. So that's one reason why you pre-qualify people. So that way you're spending time attracting people to your sales and marketing, which is a way you can clone yourself and duplicate yourself. It can attract people that are ready to make decisions today. And you're spending time in your sessions on people who are ready to make decisions today, instead of people that make you feel, or the meaning you give it is that you're not very good influencer or not the right person, when really it's them rejecting themselves. So it's really important to be able to spend that time on things that will give you people who make quick decisions. Those are going to be the vast majority. If you overcome the objection, I've been persuasive enough in my career, I've been able to do follow-up with a bunch of people and convince them to do coaching. And maybe they came up with the money, but they weren't committed. And then 2 months in, they quit coaching because they ran out of money. Because they're not committed. They get scared, and their response to being afraid is to circle the wagons and try to be safe, when their response they ought to be is to promote, expand. That's what successful people do, is they promote and expand. So those are some of the reasons why I feel it's important to pre-qualify if you want to build a big business. If you aren't ready for that, nothing wrong with doing a session and then just going through trying to handle the I don't have the money objection. But when you know there's common objections or obstacles stopping somebody, I think it makes a lot of sense to try to put that in the body of your presentation, or try to get those as soon as the value is there to justify asking that question. They call it the sales a trial close. You're not asking them to coach with you or to hire you. You're asking them if they agree with you or they have they're on the same page with you about something. So that's something I wanted to share with you guys to help you whether or not you should pre-qualify or not pre-qualify someone to work with you or not. The other great thing, like I said, is if you communicate with them and you follow up with them later, they're going to have a positive feeling about you because you had a positive interaction. They may even seek you out over time. It becomes you become very attractive because you are whole. You are not you're not telegraphing desperation and, gosh, I need this so I can close my business. Plus, it's a great lesson. You're going to have to learn to be a really great sales and marketer and do a lot of sales and marketing and promote yourself and do publicity and get referrals. And it's a great exercise. People who don't want to do that, they end up running the hamster wheel, calling the same people every day, trying to convince that person to coach with them. Coaching is not a product sale. Coaching is a team effort. Okay, so if they don't want to be your teammate, why would you continue to try to get them to be your teammate? Move on to somebody who you can solve their problem. They have a sense of urgency to do it now versus I've been thinking about it for 6 years. Find out if they've got that. See if you can create that in them. Do they have leverage? Do they have a reason to create better results than they have produced to this point? And do they have the ability or access to the money to hire you if they decide to choose to do that? So that'll help you to spend time on people that are ready to make changes and to filter out those who are not, and also still lovingly care for them and give them some paths they can take to earn the right to your coaching. Okay, take that, go make a big business out of it, go help a ton of people, and it's really important. It'll help you to recognize it's not always you. It really is the client a lot of the time. They have to be committed. They got to do their part. You can do your part to show up to do a session and serve and like get them connected and be like, gosh, I really want this to happen for you in your life. But they have to make a decision. They have to make a choice. They have to get committed. State of passionate commitment. You can't do that for them, and you only have so much ability to do that. And you're not going to get every person. It doesn't mean you're a bad coach because you didn't get the person there. It just doesn't mean that. Okay, so doesn't mean you don't want to try to get better, but you don't want to take it all personally because it really is their life and their responsibility to make a good decision for themselves. All you can do is lead them, and then it's up to them to follow your lead. Okay, I believe in you. Talk to you guys soon.